Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. This is battle report number 300, so this is definitely a milestone for me. Obviously I haven't been doing all of them in English because a good part of them were in French only before that, but still, yeah, huge amount of hours that I invested in the channels, I can say now, so definitely proud of that. It's it's always feels strange when you think about that. Over the past year, or how much games I've been covering, analyzing, definitely has been key in my how I've been improving my gaming skills over the year. Coming back to the battle report, so this is the first game of the French Interregio, the event I told you about in the previous video. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you to have a look at it because I will explain you about the list and the tournament itself. We were playing against a French team called Pays de la Loire 3, so it's always related to the area or the region where the people come from, and I was paired against their Demon Legion. I've put here about the pairings. As you can see, we had a good amount of positive, rather this is for us, so a plus. We did like approximate estimation because we didn't want to invest too much time in the preparation basically, so the plus was like 13 or more. Equal or plus is like 11, 12. And the equal is like close to 10, and then we have the negative if it's below or very, very bad, basically. So we are quite happy to get the Demon Legion here. This is my list, you know already about it, and this was my opponent's list. He was playing basically a little bit the Italian style Lemur Death Star, but he was having one Harbinger BSB on a pulpit, and the second one was a Kulima Deceiver in a big block of Lemur. Then he has small block of Lemur, small unit of Succubi, 5 orders with Snout and Roots, full command, 5 Brazen Beast. He had then 6 Veiled Serpent with a Champion. He had the Bloodfire with a Unending Joe, Standard Beer and Champion, and the Furies with Dark Eyed. We are playing King of the Hill. Below you have the spell selection. Couple of things that I can mention here. First of all, on his side, I was very surprised that he didn't pick Fate Judgment. I think it's a key spell against Kadim Titan that I need to dispel every round, basically, which gives him freedom then to cast whatever he wants. For example, Twisted Effigy on the Bastion or End of Heaven, Hereditary, and so on. So definitely, I think here a missed opportunity for him and for me. I tried to pick combat spell because I expected some fights, but those spells are not helping that much, to be honest. Rot Within and End of Glory. I think here a better choice would have been the 3 other options, basically. So Hereditary, I think, was decent to get also a flammable token 36 inch away from the Bastion. And we have then Pentagram of Pain, which is always nice against Demon. Easy to cast as well, and Mark for Doom was also a decent choice. So I think here I picked 2 wrong spells in my selection. Matchup analysis, yeah, it's a solid DL list with a big block and multiple small threats. He has definitely more threats than me on the battlefield. It's hard to engage his blocks, but other 1 versus 1 fights should be fine. And Overlord has multiple juicy targets in my opinion. In this battle, my estimation of the matchup was a positive matchup, so 13 or more. Deployment, so he won't roll for side and pick the hill as he's trained to defend, where I decided to pick the field. Here I think it's probably a mistake from him. I think he should have done the opposite, basically take the field. It's very hard to reach because it's facing an impassable. I know that getting a hill, it's appealing because you get a high charge range, so I get that. But other than that, I think here the best choice was definitely the south part of the map with the field. So I was a bit surprised by his choice and really happy to get that piece of terrain to defend and then to get things started by taking first turn by dropping everything. I put my Kadim Titan. This one will always be the Kadim Titan with the rocket battery. So this was Kadim Titan with rocket. Then we have the Lugas, Vassal unit, Slaves, Bastion with the 2 characters, so Mage and BSB. We have the small apprentice here in the vassals. We have the Nafta Thrower Titan, Slaves, some more vassals, and the Overlord on that started here in the middle. This is already my turn 1 photo. Basically, I forgot to take about deployment, but I started with the Overlord here in the middle, trying to get close to, for example, the house. He puts flies on the sides, lemurs, serpents that took poison as an attribute for this game, which makes sense against 2 Kadim Titan. Then he put the orders, Brazen Beasts that are flaming, but also a reward save against fire of a 3-up, which is annoying for me because most of my punch is flaming. Then Furies, the big block of Lemurs, He had then the Succubi, and on the far right, the 3 more flies. Let's move on to my turn 1. So I move sideways, the Overlord, the rest push a bit forward. I failed the breast weapon. I got Rot Within on the Orders, which was the idea to get them more easy to fight, but I already recognized that it was not the best choice to take this spell. And then I fail fly move, I think possibly on this Titan to get into better positioning. Shooting range, I was able. Second mistake for my opponent. I think here I shouldn't have been able to shoot his flies turn 1 with 18 inch plus March 7 and turning around from sideways. So he could have avoided that, I think, by just placing a bit more to the back or a bit more at least behind this to give me hard cover or something like that. So here I was able to shoot the flies but get only 1 wound to them. It's hitting on a 5 up and then wounding on a 2 up. And he has a ward save, so I was able to get 1 wound on the flies, which is a start. His turn 1 didn't move much, just rearrange his line. I already recognized that his game plan was mainly to be defensive, protect his piece of terrain, don't give away too much points, and get something close to a small win. In Magic Phase, he failed the smite on the Titan. I dispelled Twisted Effigy, and then he got on 3 dice against 2 the big boosted Hand of Heaven, which got 6 hits, strength 6, but did only 1 wound to my Titan, and that was it already for his turn 1. My turn 2, I'm able to move a bit sideways with the Titan to still get a clear shot at his flies, which was perfect. Here, everything I'm looking for is basically to kill 1 fly before I can engage into CC. But that's basically it from what I want from this right flank. In the middle, I push a bit forward. As you can see, a couple of inch. Don't give him any easy charge. I have a lot of threats that are looking at me compared to my Lugar's block of Bastion and Nafta Thrower, so it's not a lot to face all these demon units, so I cannot push too much. Possibly the Bastion could have been a couple of inch forward, but he has a chaff, so you can put the chaff, move the threats around and create problems, or threaten from multiple angles as well, so I need to be careful about that. Left flank, I started to move towards the middle with the Overlord, try to get close to the house, which I could have been doing from turn 1, to be honest. Could have been in this kind of position from turn 1 and starting to create problem earlier in the game, maybe. So trying to go that way, but it takes more time. I get a breast weapon that did 4 wounds to those brazen beasts, which was huge. Then I got Rot Within on the Orders as well, which moves them to D3, which is an easier fight from the Titan. But it's not that game-breaking spell in this matchup. And then shooting, you get a ward save from the flies. And I kill like 2 lemurs with the bow shot, which is nice. He's turn 2. Move a bit forward on the left, but not much. On the right, he didn't move much, as you can see. He stays like behind the impassable, but not much. I still have clear shot, and I have a charge range. So we will see what I do. Towards the middle, he activates the Furious to block me in place and moves those Veil Serpent towards the middle to create more threats in good positioning. But basically, it's avoid my Bastion to start pushing more now that I've reduced the Brazen Beast. In Magic Phase, he got Twisted Effigy on the Bastion and Scrying on my Khalid Titan, which means hitting on 6 up and also distracting in close combat. On my turn 3, I have an opportunity. The Titan can charge here, get in contact with only 1 flies, and it's a charge on a 9 on 2 dice. And I felt if this goes in, I have a good chance of winning against the flies and popping them in like 2-3 rounds of combat, and then I'm in the flank here, and this is for me, was the path to a bigger win. So I took this charge. A failed charge brings me in front of the Impassable, which reduces the amount of flies that he gets in contact if he charges me after that. So it's not that bad. So I took this charge. I took the charge against the Furies with my Bastion. Failed charge on right. Here I'm going to eat the Furies, and the rest just move towards the Impassable with the Overlord, and the rest didn't move that much. In a Magic Phase, I got Gravecall. Did 4 wounds to the Brazen Beast, which is again nice. Kill the Furies in close combat, and that's basically it. He's turn 3, moves the flies a bit forward, but not that much. Try to start threatening my flank, but I think he could have pushed more. I don't know, maybe he failed March. But it's possible that we were within 8 and he failed March. I don't know about that. The rest remain like it was. He decided to move with the flies out. That was a bit the problem, because I went into positioning here with the Overlord where the charge from the Orders was impossible. The charge from the Furies was possible but reduced due to the house being in front of my base, and the charge of the lemurs was impossible to my flank because of the impossible. So I took a very good spot, but in exchange from that I wasn't able to cover all the possible movement. I was basically able to cover all the possible movement toward the front, which was for me the most interesting, because I didn't want any scoring unit trying to threaten here this back line that is not that strong. Basically, it remains the main task of the Overlord in this game, is basically to protect this piece of terrain. So he was able to move his flies towards the middle, which create even more threats against those 3 units. Basically has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a chaff piece, more or less. So basically it's more and more complicated for me to push towards this piece of terrain. In a magic phase, he gets -1 with a smite on the Kalim Titan, but I dispel Hand of Heaven and Hereditary, and he got in exchange from that Twisted Effigy on the Bastion. Yeah, that's basically it. My turn. I move back, but in range to get a shot, clean shot on them on the 4+. So still my plan. I should be able to kill 1, and then 2 against 1 should be fine. Other than that, move a bit here, push the left flank, but still covering the position here, because if turn 4 he can move out, then turn 5 push, and turn 6 charge, I'm in trouble. So I cannot have allowed that yet, so I need to cover the left flank, get a good line of sight here, but still far away from those units, and he could still push here to create some problems. The lemurs can also move out, so I can't do much more than that. And the center, I move a bit forward, but not that much. In magic phase, Gravefall get dispel. I get a press weapon on the Kalim Titan to get a rerollable press weapon onto the flies, and did 2 wounds with that. Yeah, and shooting, I kill on the right 4 wounds of the flies, which was what I expected. And I did another 2 wounds to the lemurs with the bow shots. He's turn 4, he moved forward with the lemurs, moved the flies out of line of sight. Decided to charge me, which was unexpected, definitely, with 2 flies remaining. I think could have moved out of arc and continue to threaten me and force me to turn around and not look forwards. And here, I think it was a bit of a risk. We will see. Uses the Brazen Beast to chaff me, and the rest, yeah, just in good positioning. In the magic phase, I Binding Scroll reroll to hit. I let him have Twisted Effigy on the Bastion, and I really kept my dice to dispel distracting on the flies, but with 3 dice against 5, he get the spell in, which was very disappointing. And then he also got Hand of Heaven, 2 hits, strength 7 on the Titan that did the wound, so frustrating magic phase for me. Close combat, he did 0 to me, I did 0 to him, so I fluff a bit on a 4-up, 2-up, and then he has a 5-up, and he had 5 attack on a 3-up, 4+ rerollable. And then I have a ward save 5-up, and we did 0 to 0 as a charge, a standard. I have nothing, it's 0-0. I fail my check on the Steadfast 7, so I lose 2 wounds from that. So here I saw a bit of a risk to be out of the bubble of leadership from the Lugas or any Dwarf unit. My turn 5, charge the chaff with the Bastion. Here we're still in combat. Move in short range with the Titan to shoot multi-wound, strength 5. Uses also the building to limit the number of model in contact in case he wants to charge, and I position the Overlord to counter charge next round in the back in case anything want to charge me. I chaff the lemurs and put them in counter charge mode, so if you charge me I'm unstable, and then I can counter charge the flank, should be fine on the left. In magic phase, I get Rot Within somewhere, I get a ward save somewhere as well, I think on the Titan, maybe Rot Within on the flies. And I got shooting. I think I will kill 2 flies, basically 1, and then the 2 wounds remaining. So I think I did a total of 6 wounds between the Nafta, the Flintlock, and that was it. So it's not bad at all. I did also some wound to the Succubi, and close combat. I did 2 wounds on the right. He did 1 wound to me, but we're still in combat with 2 flies. But it was better. He's turn 5. Yeah, he puts those guys in front of the Bastion. We don't know yet, but the turn 5 will be the last turn. He put the flies out of range, protect the piece of terrain with the lemurs. Those guys stuck in combat, and those guys turn around basically to make this distance long and this distance not so easy. So I would need to get both, and even with that, I'm not sure I can get through all these lemurs wounds. In magic phase, he got Hand of Heaven, 7 hits, strength 7 on the Titan that did 2 wounds, so rolling high on the Hand of Heaven, strength 7, he did, not bad. Raven Swing on those guys, which was key if we would have played 6 turn, because I don't know if you see it, but those guys have an automatic charge here, and then an easy overrun onto the flank here, and it's on the hill. And that means secondary 1. So I would have been happy to stay like that and play a 6 turn, but we stop here, and with Raven's Wing he can move in front here, and that's not anymore possible for me, and charging here, he could just turn around the next round and make me break. So it's not an option really anymore. Yeah, that was the end game picture, and I got rid of the flies, and that was it basically. Ended up being a 13-7, so I killed 3 units, lost nothing, which was enough to get a 13 out of this game. So yeah, what can I say? Happy to start on this side of the map with this piece of terrain. I think he should have done the opposite, to be honest. Probably didn't push enough with the Bastion, but I didn't really see how he had so many more units than me. The DL player defended his secondary with his stronger unit, so I think he did that well. I had an inferior number of units, which made my attack harder, thinking about the Overlord. So to have cover angle plus trying to be aggressive is kind of hard because you get in suboptimal orientation, so to say. Turn 3 Infernal Dwarf, I'm still have the opinion. I'm still the opinion that this charge on the right was my opening to get a bigger win. If I get that in, I think, yeah, only 1 fly in base contact, it's a charge. I have a good chance to get rid of the flies after some rounds, and then being in the flank being really an issue for him to get rid of. The Overlord secured left flank, but wasn't able to get a good fight. And turn 5 Demon, yeah, key Raven's Wing, which in this case didn't matter because we didn't play turn 6. But this wrong positioning of the Succubi in the first place could have been a huge issue regarding secondary objective, which means a lot of points. And the Titan fighting out of leadership 9 bubble is risky, I have to say. Definitely something that, yeah, I need to pay attention to for future games. Guys, that's it for this battle report. We were able to win it big. As you can see, we won on 5 table, get 1 draw result against their best players. It was definitely a very good start for us in the event. Thanks a lot for watching. Talk to you soon for the game number 2. Bye bye.